fellow YouTubers. Wah-ha. Welcome to Ballin' Burgers! Woohoo! So, Mikey had a great video on the Zelda timeline. And let me just give a little input on that. I think that he did a great job. And there's something that if you YouTubers out there are interested in, I have a great source for you guys to get more information and more in depth with the Zelda timeline. I have this great book here. Ba-bam! It's called Hyrule Historia, and it gives you all the history about Zelda. It's done by Dark Horse. Dark Horse Books produced it. And you can go to darkhorse.com. I'll leave a link, and then you can go on there and see if they have it. I don't know really what the price is right now, but I got this as a gift. And it tells you all about the timeline, and it tells you all about each individual game. And it also gives you a the beginning part of the book has a whole bunch of sketches and things like that for Skyward Sword, which this book was produced right before Skyward Sword was released. So moving on, Mikey asked me about audiobooks. Well, I think that audiobooks are a great way if you don't have the time to read. However, I think that they can't replace reading a book fully. My opinion on that is because the people reading the books in the audio version, they have their own voice, and then when you read it, you have your own voice and you say other people's names how you want to. So you kind of make it your own story in a sense. Versus if you listen to an audiobook, you're hearing them say the words, you're hearing them say the names and stuff like that. Maybe when you're reading a book and you hear the dialogue in your head, you make them sound differently than if someone else is reading it and saying the dialogue. And it doesn't make it a full story, in my opinion. But it's a great way. You said you drive a lot for work, so if you drive a lot, I think that's a great idea, a great way to expand your mind with books. Books are a great way to expand your mind. That's how I guess I started reading when I was really little, and I've loved reading, but now I really don't have the time for it. So, books that I would recommend for you, Mikey. Life of Pi. That is written by Jan Martel. This is a little bit of a book, a little bit thick. I don't know if you read this in high school. I know I had to read it in my senior year in high school. It's a really good book. I really enjoyed it. They have a movie of it. The movie, they did really well with the movie. So I would say this is a good book. It's a good way to go through twice. It's good to go through twice. I read through it twice, and whew, it's really good. The next book that I suggest to you is Aragon by Christopher Paolini, something like that. It's a series of 4 books. It's about a kind of like medieval magical realm, and it also has dragons included with it. So I don't know if you're really into like that, the mythical dragons and stuff like that. I am. I read it and it was really good. And it's not just about the dragon. It's got so much other things going on. I would say the first book is really good, and that's called Aragon. And then Eldest is okay. The beginning's a little slow and everything like that, but then towards the end it's like, whoa, bam! And then the third book was Brissinger, and that book was really good. That was interesting. It has some slow parts, but it's really interesting. And then the last one was Inheritance, and that one was, the ending of it was really good. I enjoyed the series a lot. I haven't read it in a while. My brother has the books, but I think it's a great series if you're interested in reading or listening, in your case, to medieval sorcery kind of interesting books. So I have heard about the Percy Jackson series. I've never read them personally. I know my brothers have read them. They're really into it. And it teaches you a lot about Greek mythology. So if that's something you're into as well, like Zeus and all these other, Poseidon and all these other gods and how they're interconnected, and I guess the history behind them. If you're into that kind of stuff, I guess those books would be pretty good. So if you're into it, do it. That's my take on audiobooks. Now, Mikey, I have a question for you, as these videos go. My question is, what is your number one movie? Number one like best movie. Number one, just the acting is great. Whatever your criteria is. Number one best movie, all-time favorite movie that you could sit down and watch a billion times and still not be tired of it. Number one. And forget genre. It doesn't have anything to do with genre. So it could be whatever genre that you want to pick, but don't pick a movie. But your number one movie, and it could be from any time. It could be from back in the day when you're a little kid. It could be now. It could, whatever. What's your number one movie that is, in your opinion, the best movie of all time? So that's my question to you, and I hope you answer it. And I'll see you next time, guys.